Bungie didn't kill Destiny, Activision did. Destiny is an IP that had such promise, but with its second game, it lost almost all of the original game's fans. Today, Destiny goes on the autopsy table, so we can explain how Activision killed Destiny.
Hey, look, here's a picture of your great-great-granddad, Osiris Griffin. He owned one of the first dozen telephones.
Bungie, after handing Halo off to 343 Studios, partnered with Activision to make 4 games. For a new IP, that IP would become Destiny. It was released in 2014, and people loved it. It was an RPG light and an FPS at the same time. It was something new, something we loved. But halfway through the game's development, it was changed drastically. Cutscenes were removed and replaced with Grimoire cards, and many mechanics were removed. In the end, we loved this game, and as a part of their contract, they made another one. And just like before, halfway through the game's development, it was redone entirely. Because of the shift in directors, and because they now only had less than a year to make this game, content had to be cut, like patrol zones. And this leads us to the first bullet Activision pumped into Destiny.
We're all gonna die. There's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Activision, as the company they are, want all the money possible, and to do such, their game has to be for everyone. Everyone that picks up the game has to be able to enjoy it, but in a game like Destiny, there's no way it can be for everyone. And if you're making a game for the normie or the casual gamer, the guy who plays video games for an hour after work, they won't stick with it. And if you make the game easier, then the normie loses interest. And so do the hardcore gamers. The hardcore Destiny fans in 2 weeks could say that they had seen everything this game has to offer. Because gear stats, Grimoire cards, scores, gun perks, all gone at launch. It is as if they had removed the RPG element of this first-person shooter RPG light.
I'll ask you one more time. Are you sure you didn't eat anything in my factory?
No.
I'm just asking.
What, are you calling me a liar?
No, I'm just saying.
Hey, shut up, Wonka.
Activision has gotten Bungie to do the worst thing you can do with gamers. Lie. And ruin their trust. First, by saying they had fixed the XP problem, by then changing the amount of XP needed to level up, making it exactly the same but with a different mechanic causing the problem. Then, faction rallies had a token problem, and once again, they lied to save themselves. Then, for the first DLC, they had talked about how rewarding the first DLC was. For the gameplay to show people getting absolutely nothing. They have destroyed the trust needed to keep players around, and that moves us into a problem that they said they would fix before launch and never did.
Did I do that?
Activision, desperate to get this game out on time, forced Bungie to release the game before addressing something that they said they had to address before the game came out. This is the 10th Better Devils conundrum. They said they needed to fix the loot and make it more interesting. They used the Better Devils handgun as an example. They said they wanted to fix it to where the 10th you got was just as interesting as the first. Bungie knew all of these problems with the game existed. They just were told by Activision, we don't have time for this. Get that game out the door now. I don't care what problems there are, we can fix them later. And then there is how everything is seemingly pointless. If you do anything like a raid, you will number one, be surprised at how easy it is, and then surprised at how little you get for completing it. This is what happens when you make a game for everyone. It becomes uninteresting and drives people away. Why are they not fixing this, you may ask? Because they have 2 more games to make, and they need some reason the new game is better than the old to get people to buy it. So they saved their best DLC plans and all the things that we want for their next or final game in the series.
Don't go far, Grimo.
Activision has 2 more games that Bungie is forced to make, and they have 6 years left to make 2 more games. Now, that might sound easy, but with the time that it took to make Destiny 2 being 3 years, they might just barely meet that deadline of 4 games in 10 years. Activision is going to push, and that is going to cut content, modes, weapons, and basically everything else that we want in a Destiny game, thus leaving a game that shares only a name with the original Destiny. And at this point, with a Horde mode, it is starting to be confusing to explain what in the hell this game is. And if the development team restarts halfway through making the game, number one, things need to be cut to have the game ready in time, but also the developers lose sight of what in the hell they are even making. They forget what the game is supposed to be, and thus it loses the identity that it once had, and it loses its fans as well.
And I am out of here.
In the end, Activision has pushed Bungie so hard that their games have lost what they are, and they have no idea what they are anymore. And the game has been forgotten, left dead in garbage cans and pawn shops because Activision pushed Bungie around and switched their head developer halfway through development of Destiny 2. If Activision continues at this rate, Bungie will break and Destiny will be forgotten. Anyway, that is going to be it for today's video. It was one of the shorter ones, but Destiny being an IP with only 2 games out, I didn't have much to talk about in the history section. And normally, the history sections are 4 pages long. But anyway, make sure to subscribe to get Subscriber of the Day in my next video, and turn on push notifications to see all my videos the minute they come out, and be sure to hit that like button if you want to show support for me or my videos, and leave a comment if you have a question, a suggestion, or a video idea. And that's going to be it for today's video. Anyway, today's question: do you think that Destiny can be saved? Leave your answer in the comments down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.